Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is MADDENMONEYSHOT, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. I got some plays for you today out of the I-form slot flex. This is my favorite run formation this entire game. I'm using this out of the Panthers playbook. If you guys don't know, the Panthers playbook has become my favorite playbook this year. The last 2 years it was the Saints, but I guess I pretty much got tired of running it. To be honest with you, sometimes you want new challenges, and I found this playbook to be, to me, the best playbook in the game. Patriots is also a really good playbook too, but everybody runs that. I want to be original, so I chose the Panthers. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and show you there's 3 plays in this formation. All this, like I said, it's in my Panthers ebook. If you guys want to check that out, all that information is in the description below. I did pretty much every formation in this entire game in that ebook. It's just, to me, it's such a full playbook. But realistically, my favorite play is probably going to be the toss. We're going to set up our audibles though. I already have a power O in here. The other play that I probably would want would be the halfback lead dive. So those are the 3 run plays. We're going to start off by picking the halfback toss. And then on the defensive side, we're just going to pick random 4-3. I could go 4-4, but realistically, you're not going to see a lot of defensive looks. So we're going to go ahead with the random 4-3 here. So this play right here, like I said, this is basically the most important play in this formation because this is such a versatile play. My second favorite play would probably be the power O. And the third play would just be the straight up halfback lead dive. And the reason that is sometimes that's where the gap is. The gap's not there this time. So realistically, like, it's probably going to be the least used play. So this is your outside run. Your inside run would be the power O. It doesn't necessarily look like it, but when you flip it, a lot of times this is going to be a really good inside run. You'll see that as the play goes on. So realistically, right off the bat, we know we already have a zone coverage. Because you have 2 wide receivers on the one side, it's going to give away pretty much every defensive formation. And typically the way that I want to run this against zone is flip it back and just run it as is. If I want to, I can give my fullback here a head start, which will work against user opponents the first couple of times, but eventually it kind of gives the play away. So I find that it's best to only do that maybe at the beginning, and then as you know, they figure out it's kind of a tell on which direction the ball's going, then just kind of keep him where he is. But realistically, this is just such a really, this is such a good run. And that was a horrible block, but you know what? I'll take that. So here it looks like we have a double safety blitz. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get outside of that. Like I said, this play right here, it's pretty money. You don't have to really worry too much about what defensive look you're looking at. But if you get a lot of zone coverages, that's going to be a really good play. Another way to run this, if you motion over Funchess, you can't motion over Smith because he stops. So you have to motion over the inside receiver. So if you motion over Funchess, a lot of times that'll give you a good advantage. There, it makes the defensive player stand up. As you can see, it's just going to give me a good block to the edge. I'm not quite getting the edge like I want to, but it's all good. And then right here, now we have a man coverage. I was waiting for that. The second you see that there's no cornerback on that one side, you can just run it as is. This is going to be a really good man-beating run just because there's the two receivers will pull the coverage to one side, so that'll really help you out. So real easy diagnosis. Once again, we have a zone or a man coverage. So I'm just going to run to the line, set it up. That guy didn't finish his block, but that's okay. I still got 15 yards. So man coverage, run it as is. Here we go. That's a zone coverage. I have my choice here. Like I said, if I want to motion over this guy, I think motioning Funchess over will make that cornerback stand out. It looks like we had a man, so I actually didn't even read it right. But I still made it happen as we get outside anyway. But like I said, you definitely want to run that the original way if you're going to run that against man without motioning anybody or without doing anything like that. And then a lot of times I'll play games with my opponent when it comes to the motions. So if I think my opponent's reacting to this motion being out the way that it is, a lot of times like you can motion over, if you want to run it to the short side, you can motion a guy across just to kind of confuse him and make the user think that that's where the ball's going, and then you can just go the original way. So that's something that you can do just to kind of, like I said, you can play games with the motions when it comes to your user opponent. Now I don't quite see a scenario yet for the power O. So we're just going to keep, like I said, flip it. Real simple. You don't have to do anything. You just get that edge every time. I know a lot of people like the I-form close, but I think this is a much better formation. I think that this is just way more consistent. I think those receivers do a really good job. As you can see right there, I didn't even get a good block, so it's all good though. But we're going to try to find a scenario like right here where that defensive end and that defensive tackle are so far apart. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to give myself a look on the power O now. So we're going to pick the power O. We're going to flip it. We're going to try to hit that gap. So hopefully my blockers can set up as they did there eventually. Didn't quite do it right away. So now that I showed off that outside run quite a bit, here's a scenario where if I were to try to run it against this defensive end being out so wide, he would probably get outside and possibly stop this play, stopping me from getting wide. So now I go to my first inside run, which is the power O. So now, if you see, the power O typically goes to the side of the fullback or the tight end, but if I flip that back, I'm shooting right for that giant gap. And you're going to see that quite a bit because a lot of people want that wide outside defensive lineman to try to stop toss plays. So if I do it like this, a lot of times I'll have a really good lane right up the gut. So here we got another sizable gap there. It's typically to the shallow side or to the short side where I'll get that. And you can see right there, it's just a really good inside run. This is definitely the best inside run out of this. So there's not a lot of scenarios where I'm going to use the halfback lead dive. It's definitely the third most important play out of this. But there will be times where I could use it and have some success. Like here, I mostly just fell forward. So here's another scenario we're going to flip it to the power O. Definitely have that defensive lineman out wide. And look at the gap. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a huge gain, about 5 yards, but you do that all game. If you do that all game, you're going to get, good results all game. You're going to keep, turning the sticks and keep getting first downs. That's what running the ball is about. It's not always about huge explosive runs. It's about not being, your opponent not being able to stop you. So I'm going to go ahead and end like that. Short video. If you guys want to see more stuff out of the Panthers playbook, hit the like button or let me know in the comments section, or check it out on my website in the description below. Other than that, thanks for watching Madden Money Shot out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.